What is going on, guys? Mike here with Chit Chat Gaming. I hope you're all doing well here today. I want to go ahead and just talk to you guys about a couple of topics here that have come up here throughout the week that I want to kind of, like I said, just discuss here. The first things first is going to be one that we have talked about here in the past quite a few times, and we're finally getting a release date, it sounds like, for AEW's Fight Forever. The game was originally announced back in 2020. Since then, it's been speculated about when the game was supposed to be released. It was actually delayed a few times. And again, though, we saw some gameplay footage and such, and we heard some of the details and so forth, but we never did get an official release date from AEW or the developers. Well, it looks like that we finally might have that, as apparently Fightful Select has been reporting here that apparently AEW's Fight Forever is going to release on June the 27th, which originally it was announced that it was going to be released towards the end of June. So again, it makes sense that we're going to be seeing it finally on Tuesday, June the 27th. Now, for me personally, I'm excited about this. We can definitely expect an announcement probably within the next week, probably on AEW. Obviously, AEW has Collision coming up. I think they're probably going to announce it hopefully this Wednesday on Dynamite to kind of help, push, to get the sales anyways and kind of get the word out there for AEW's Fight Forever. Now, like I said, I'm pretty excited for it here. I'm not expecting a ton. There is going to be a very, very limited creation suite, as far as yes, you can do create a wrestler. You're able to create an arena as well here too. I'm sure there's gonna be some limitations, kind of like Fire Pro Wrestling in some of the older games, where you can do certain things, but it's not super in depth. So don't expect a universe mode. Don't expect the community creations and so forth and all that as well here too that you're used to seeing in the WWE game. So, and that's perfectly fine. I know a lot of people are upset about that. They're they're mad, saying that it's crap, they're not going to have it in this game. You have to look at it like this. This game is basically going to be an arcade style game. So if you played WWE's Day of Reckoning on the Nintendo GameCube and so forth, if you played the SmackDown vs. Raw series, it's going to be along those times. Even No Mercy and that for Nintendo 64, they're basically aiming and going, their goal is to give it the arcade style wrestling here, not so much the simulation style. So apparently this game is not going to be an annual game or nothing like that. They may make another game later on in the future with a different developer as well too, or maybe with the same developer. But the goal, of course, this time around was the Elite, and those guys wanted to basically, make something that was very, very similar to the old classic Nintendo 64 style wrestling game. So for me, I understand it's an arcade game, an arcade style wrestling game anyways, and I think that you definitely should as well too. So I love Day of Reckoning. I love the SmackDown vs. Raw series, more of the SmackDown series, Here Comes the Pain, etc. So for me personally, I'm very, very excited for this, even with the limited creation suites and so forth, as far as community creations and kind of the more in-depth universe and all that stuff. My faction, of course, that's all of it 2K. If I want that, I'll play that. Otherwise, I'll go back and play AEW here, of course, just for that pick it up, quick match and fun arcade style wrestler. Now, next here I want to talk about is another big announcement that we saw this past week as well here too. Ed Boon officially announced. We've been hearing about this for quite some time. It's been rumored. Mortal Kombat has been trending quite a bit here recently, and Injustice as well too. Ed Boon's been talking about how he hasn't officially announced that Mortal Kombat is gonna be the next game as well here too, which we all kind of figured, but we did officially see the Mortal Kombat 1 announcement here that comes out in September. I, for one, am a huge Mortal Kombat fan. I've been playing Mortal Kombat since the old days. I remember playing the very, very first Mortal Kombat cabinet on a casino. My friend's mom would go to the casino, and she had to take us with her, and she'd leave us in a little arcade room they had there with the free pop. Yeah, imagine that, free pop in arcade games. Wow. So we had it there. She'd give us a bunch of money, $5-10, and we would play Mortal Kombat pretty much the whole entire time. And of course, playing games like Mortal Kombat 2, Ultimate, MK3, what have you, in the arcade all the time as well here too. That's just one thing we always did. So Mortal Kombat 1 is expected to be a complete reboot, because for me personally, I'm gonna say this, that I kind of got bored. Mortal Kombat 10 or X, whatever, then Mortal Kombat 11, and then I was like, okay, well, Mortal Kombat 12 is gonna be a continuation from Mortal Kombat 11. It never really changes. It's the same, and it's fine, but it's always the same continuation story. It's different, same characters, usually maybe a couple new ones or something, and then of course new fatalities and so forth. But really, nothing really changes. So this time around, I'm very, very excited to see that they are basically not continuing from Mortal Kombat 11, and they're going back to, the very beginning. They're basically rebooting the franchise of Mortal Kombat 1 and Liu Kang's universe, and they're going to basically just, like I said, just kind of reintroduce everybody as well here too. So, people may have different alliances and such as well here too. So we're going to see a whole new introduction to a lot of these new characters. In the trailer, of course, we saw like Mileena, Katana, Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Kung Lao, Liu Kang, etc., etc. So I'm really excited to see this here. I know some DLC has leaked on Amazon as well here too, which should be really, really interesting. We'll talk about that later. But again, though, I'm really excited for Mortal Kombat 1 as a Mortal Kombat fan. However, though, one thing I was really, really hoping that they were going to announce, that they were going to bring, was going to be a Mortal Kombat collection here. Much like the Street Fighter 30th anniversary, it of course is a Mortal Kombat anniversary as well here too. I would have loved to seen a release of something much like this here. I mean, you literally could have a Mortal Kombat anniversary collection and put on there, the original Mortal Kombat game, MK2, MK3, Ultimate MK3, MK4. You could put Deadly Alliance, Armageddon, Deception, and of course you could have even put in there like Shaolin Monks as well here too, and other iterations of the game as well here too. So I, for one, would have really loved to see basically a collection of everything prior to Mortal Kombat 9. So will we see it in the future? Possibly. I actually saw a rumor that they were going to release the original Mortal Kombat game here on the Nintendo Switch, which I would have loved. I'm sure if it was on the Switch, probably on everything else, but I'd like to see a remaster of that game maybe. Maybe we just take Mortal Kombat 1 and Mortal Kombat 2 and just freshen it up and give it a new coat of paint. I mean, literally, you could do the same thing they did with Ultra Street Fighter 2, the Final Challengers. Really, this is just basically Street Fighter 2 with a fresh coat of paint and some new music, some updated audio as well too. Of course, you can use the original audio, but again, though, imagine Mortal Kombat 1 and Mortal Kombat 2, or even MK3 with a new fresh, coat of paint for today's modern systems and so forth. Just kind of giving it a little bit more better, sharper image and a better look here. Something like this you could definitely do. So let me know down below, guys, if you are excited for Mortal Kombat 1, if you would love to see like a collection as well here too, like I would. And of course, let me know if you're excited for AEW's Fight Forever and what you're expecting from the game. Again, we haven't got an official release date from actual AEW yet or nothing like that, or the developers. But again, though, Fightful is pretty pretty good at giving correct information and so forth, and apparently I do expect to see it here this week. So again, make sure you guys sign up down below here. Make sure you guys like this video if you choose to. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and make sure you turn on that bell notification to keep up to date with all things that is Chit Chat Gaming. And as always, guys, happy gaming.